Imagine a warehouse the size of 30 football fields, workers walking 15 miles a day on concrete floors, monitored by algorithms that track every second of their time, punished for taking bathroom breaks, fired by a computer with no human review. This is not a factory from the Industrial Revolution. This is Amazon today. And the man who built it is the second richest human being on Earth. This is the story of Jeff Bezos, the man who revolutionized commerce, built one of the most powerful companies in human history, and did it by treating the people who made him rich as disposable parts of a machine. Jeffrey Preston Bezos was born in 1964 in Albuquerque, New Mexico. His mother was 17 years old when he was born. His biological father was largely absent. When he was 4, his mother married a Cuban immigrant named Miguel Bezos. Miguel adopted Jeffrey and gave him his surname. He worked his way up from nothing. Jeff Bezos grew up in a stable, supportive family. He was brilliant from the beginning. Valedictorian of his high school class in Miami. He studied electrical engineering and computer science at Princeton. Graduated summa cum laude. He went to Wall Street, worked at a hedge fund, learned the mechanics of financial systems, and in 1994, he drove across the country with his wife Mackenzie in a Chevy Blazer. While writing the business plan for Amazon on a laptop, he started the company in his garage in Bellevue, Washington, selling books, just books. The idea was simple. The internet could offer a selection no physical store could match. Infinite shelf space, global reach, lower prices. In the beginning, Amazon lost money. For years, investors believed in the vision. Bezos reinvested every dollar back into growth. He was playing a long game, and it worked. By the mid-2000s, Amazon was not just a bookstore, it was everything. Books, electronics, clothing, food, cloud computing, streaming, logistics. The everything store, the everything company. And at the center of all of it was one idea that Jeff Bezos never stopped repeating. Customer obsession. Everything for the customer. The lowest prices, the fastest delivery, the most convenient experience. Whatever the customer wanted, at any cost. And here is the part they never put in the business school case studies. The cost was paid by someone else. In 2018, an Amazon warehouse worker in Alabama named William Foote died of a heart attack on the warehouse floor. He had been walking for hours under the Alabama summer heat. He collapsed and was found dead. Amazon's response was to remind workers about their productivity targets. In fulfillment centers across America, workers reported being penalized for using the bathroom. Their handheld scanners tracked every moment. If they stopped scanning for more than a few seconds, the system flagged them. If they were flagged too many times, the system automatically generated a termination notice. No manager review, no human judgment. A computer decided you were no longer useful, and you were gone. Amazon's injury rates at warehouses are significantly higher than the industry average. Workers report being pushed beyond physical limits to meet delivery targets, driven by an algorithm that does not feel tired, does not feel pain. does not care whether the human on the other end of the scanner goes home whole. And when workers tried to organize, tried to form unions to protect their rights, Amazon spent millions fighting them, hiring consultants, running anti-union campaigns, monitoring employees for organizing activity. In 2021, Amazon workers in Staten Island formed the first successful union at an Amazon facility in American history. Amazon fought it at every step and continued fighting it after the vote was certified, because Jeff Bezos built a system designed to extract maximum value from human labor at minimum cost. And unions make that harder. Here is what the business press rarely discusses. Amazon's business model depends on a fundamental deception. When you buy something on Amazon for a low price, the true cost has not disappeared. It has been transferred onto the workers who fulfill the order at inhuman speed, transferred onto the small businesses who sell on the platform and pay Amazon up to 40% in fees, transferred onto the communities where Amazon warehouses arrive and drive up housing costs while depressing local wages, transferred onto the taxpayers who subsidize Amazon's infrastructure through government contracts and tax incentives. Jeff Bezos was not building a more efficient marketplace. He was building a system that moved the cost of efficiency onto people who had no power to refuse it. Amazon Web Services tells another dark story. AWS, the cloud computing division, is the most profitable part of Amazon. It powers a significant portion of the entire internet. Banks, hospitals, government agencies, Netflix, Airbnb, CIA, all running on Amazon's infrastructure. And here is what that means. Jeff Bezos built a system so deeply embedded in the functioning of modern civilization that it cannot be regulated without threatening the infrastructure civilization depends on. He didn't just build a company, he built a dependency. And dependencies are the ultimate form of power. Washington Post tells yet another story. In 2013, Jeff Bezos purchased the Washington Post for $250 million, a personal purchase. Not an Amazon acquisition. The Washington Post is one of the most influential newspapers in America. It broke Watergate. It shapes political narratives. It investigates power. And it is now owned by a man whose companies are regularly investigated by the same government the Post covers. The conflict of interest is not hidden. It sits in plain sight. Critics have asked repeatedly whether the Post's coverage of Amazon, of tech regulation, of antitrust proceedings is influenced by the owner's business interests. The Post denies it, but the question never goes away, because it shouldn't. Jeff Bezos's personal life also reveals something about the values at the center of his empire. In 2019, his divorce from Mackenzie Scott, his wife of 25 years, and the woman who helped build Amazon from the garage, became public. Mackenzie received approximately $38 billion in the settlement. She has since given away more than $14 billion to charity. Jeff Bezos used his fortune differently. He built a super yacht so large it required a historic bridge in Rotterdam to be temporarily dismantled to allow it to pass. The bridge, The Koningshavenbrug was a beloved piece of Dutch heritage. The city agreed to dismantle it temporarily for a fee, because when you have enough money, even history bends for you. He launched himself into space on his own rocket, wearing a cowboy hat, and thanked Amazon workers and customers for paying for his joyride directly in a speech after landing. The workers, who had been walking 15 miles a day on concrete floors in Alabama and New Jersey, had paid for his 11-minute trip to the edge of space. And he stood there and thanked them for it. Here is the darkest truth about Jeff Bezos and Amazon. The regulatory system in America is not equipped to handle what Amazon has become. Antitrust laws written in the 20th century were designed for a different kind of monopoly. Amazon does not just dominate a market, it is the market. It is the marketplace where competitors must sell, the infrastructure competitors must use, the logistics network competitors must compete against, the data collector that watches every transaction and uses that information to launch competing products. The FTC has investigated, Congress has investigated, Europe has fined, and Amazon continues to grow because the system was not built to stop something this large. Jeff Bezos stepped down as Amazon CEO in 2021. He handed the controls to Andy Jassy and retreated to his super yacht, to his properties across multiple continents, to his space company, to his newspaper, to a life of extraordinary luxury built on the broken bodies of warehouse workers who cannot afford to be sick. He is not in prison. He is not being investigated. He is being celebrated. And the workers, they are still walking 15 miles a day. Subscribe to Luxury Vision Official right now, because the next story on this channel is even darker than this one. At Luxury Vision Official, we go where the mainstream financial press refuses to go. Hit the notification bell, because the truth about who really controls the global economy is something they hope you never find out. Before you leave, if this story made you feel something, anger, shock, or simply the need to know more, you are not alone. Every week at Luxury Vision Official, we go deeper into the stories that the financial world hopes you will never find. The men behind the crashes, the fortunes built on lies, the systems designed to protect the powerful and destroy everyone else. Luxury Vision Official exists for one reason: to show you what's really happening behind the glass towers and the tailored suits. Subscribe to Luxury Vision Official right now. Hit the notification bell, because the next story is even darker than this one.